What is the bridge of incidents?
You do not know what is happening behind the scenes.
Maybe just us existing has helped somebody else.
You're coming up with reasons not to go towards the light, meaning towards what lights you up. Welcome back, guys. Gemini Soulcast. I'm your host, Sin.
And I'm your host, Rob. Welcome back to another episode. We're so excited to get everybody back on this page right here. What's good, what's good? I want to just quickly give a shout out to the New York Knicks.
Yo, you couldn't let that one go, could you?
I couldn't, because this is what we call collective consciousness right here. This is when we get a bunch of people who all think similar. So we get the brainwaves all be in the same path to be like, let's go for a win.
Let's go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks.
You know what I'm saying?
So anyways, I divert from that. For today, we have a very interesting topic in the realms of manifestation. And I will want to hear you talk about this, because we were talking about this earlier, and I said, wait, save it for the show.
You wanted me to save it, y'all.
Of course. And what is it that you were telling me? What is this concept called?
It's not a concept, but you know how last episode I mentioned listening to Neville Goddard?
Right.
And he's always teaching about the bridge of incidents. Right? So that means
what is the bridge of incidents?
It's whatever's taking place between you and your manifestation. So meaning, when you put your thought out there, right? When you ask the universe for something and they tell you to trust the process, you do not know what is happening behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know, like, if you're trying to have a relationship with someone and you're manifesting someone, but they're still with someone else, or they're still connected to someone else, or whatever the case is. And you don't know what's going on as far as like the universe moving people out of the way for your manifestation to come in. And that's why sometimes it doesn't come in right away. It takes a little time. But if if you trust enough in the universe, you know she always delivers.
Right.
And she's always going to deliver whatever's best for you. So in terms of relationship, you could want someone, but maybe they're not your person right now.
Like they could be someone later.
Yes.
In this very moment, they're not. But then the universe is working this magic.
Right.
To orchestrate it where you both will be meeting at the right moment at the right time.
Right. Which brings me to the point, too, of our earlier conversation where we were speaking about how people, they're so dead set on the type of relationship they want, the type of person that they want, that they try to control who they're dating or who they connect with. You know what I'm saying? To the point is like, if there's one little thing wrong, oh no, I don't want to talk to this person anymore. Or they're already judging them, or they're thinking, no, this doesn't fit the criteria, like what I'm looking for. But the universe is always going to surprise you. So you're just supposed to be open to receive that love.
Right.
And you may have to just kiss a couple of toads before you get to your prince or your princess.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So the bridge of incidences, right?
We're back to that, yeah.
Because you mentioned, when has that happened in your life where you're like, oh, this is a perfect example of a bridge of incidents moment?
Oof.
If you don't mind sharing.
I'm trying to think. What is it that I wanted? Well, even like what I mentioned in our last episode as well about the job.
Right.
I tried to manifest this type of job a long time ago, right? Mm-hmm. And when I think about it, I wasn't ready for this job then. I thought I was, but I wasn't. And then I was thinking like, dang, like I'm never going to have this job like at that time because I wanted it so bad. But then I forgot about it. Like I detached from it. Like, all right, well, what's meant to be will be. I didn't know like, now like 20 years later that the universe was going to bring this in, that it was going to come in now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And I've had some horrible jobs, y'all. And I always used to think
Same.
like, you know how you dream, like you're an actor and you
right.
dream about like, I'm gonna get that role someday, right? And you have it in your head. Like, I would dream about working in like music or entertainment, being radio host. Everybody knows that, but like, this is good for me too. Through this
Right.
podcast.
I think when you're mentioning the bridge of incidents, it actually reminded me of a story they told me about. I don't think you told me about the story, but it's about your man, Anthony Ramos. Actually,
Ah,
because I
my
saw
guy.
I saw on an interview with Anthony Ramos where he was talking about how he auditioned for In the Heights, but he didn't get it. The Broadway show.
The Broadway show.
And then he got Hamilton
Yep.
to play Lafayette.
Yeah.
And then for the In the Heights movie, he booked the
gets it.
lead.
He gets the lead.
He gets lead. And then there's an interview where he's talking about why he didn't get it. And he was talking to the casting, he was talking to the producers and the folks there. He's like, how come, back when I was auditioning for In the Heights for Broadway, I didn't get it? And then they said, you weren't ready.
Yep. I saw that.
You saw that, right? So just goes to show that a delay is not a denial.
It's not.
And rejection is just redirection. And you just never know how the universe is going to be working behind the scenes to make you, break you, and then give you the life and the type of opportunities that you from 5 years ago would have wished that you had.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't know
Right.
about any of these things.
Right.
But that's when we got to be open to it.
Yeah. You have to be open to it. And it's the same thing like, again, in manifestation, when they tell you to persist on something, right? Like whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, they tell you like, you got to stick to that when it comes to law of assumption, right? You got to stick to that story that you're telling yourself.
So my question about sticking to something is, when do you know that it's just about you persisting until you see the result? And when is it time for you to let go of it? Or when you realize that that might not be the right thing for you? You know what I mean?
Only you know that,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And even when you're manifesting something, you should be detached from it.
Right.
Because if you're waiting for it, if you're looking for it, you're definitely attached to it.
Yeah. Because that comes from a place of a lack, from desperation.
Right.
I need this role. I need this job opportunity rather than being that this is already here for me. There are a lot of actors who think that way. People in general, but at least in the acting world, a lot of actors who are very desperate. And so like each role or each opportunity to meet a casting director at a casting director workshop, they feel like they have to always talk to them or like put their best foot forward. And you can smell the desperation in a lot of them. And I always feel that, like, at least for me, the moments when I've detached, the moments when I have just submitted the audition because I was like, all right, okay, that's whatever. I get it.
Yeah.
I book it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I did not expect this.
Yeah.
You
Because obviously, too, like you're putting your audition tape in or you're, going to a casting, right?
Yeah.
And when you do all that, you're putting energy already towards it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's like, you know what? I like this. I really want this one. But you're not, when you're manifesting it or you're being super secure with it, knowing that, the universe always has my back. So I'm going to have this. It's fine.
Yeah.
It comes in when you're not like, where the heck is it?
And it may not always be you get that specific role or that specific partner, for example. But if you are so secure in yourself where oh, well, I know it's going to happen anyways, you're going to be blessed with something, I think, even beyond what you could imagine.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Sometimes it's like something bigger comes in. That's what I would say too. Like, for some reason, it's like when you hear that life is mirroring us, and we're sitting here like, no, but I'm not waiting for it. I'm like super confident about it. Like I know that I'm gonna have this or whatever. There's a little doubt somewhere inside of you. There's a little doubt. It's a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, even though you still have like that little doubt, it could be why it's not happening for you. And because the doubt, you're operating out of lack, you're operating out of fear, and you're not trusting.
Even if we were to say, words of affirmation and say, no, I got it, I'm confident, You mentioned a little bit of lack of doubt. So how would somebody get rid of that little bit of lack of doubt?
Well, that's the thing too that Neville taught us.
Okay, do enlighten us then.
That Neville taught us.
Good old Neville.
That it's really more about the feeling. The feeling of having that. The
Yes.
feeling of like knowing that, oh, when it comes in and you kind of like visualize or you tap into that energy of having it, that's what's gonna freaking really make you like persist in it. And it's going to, and it doesn't matter. Like sometimes you're gonna say affirmations and you're not gonna really believe it, right?
True.
Why? Because we're kind of battling what's already inside of us. That's why
Yeah.
they say like you're reprogramming your subconscious.
Yeah.
It's a struggle. It's like when you listen to the sleep tapes. The
Oh,
sleep
yeah,
tracks,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think, that I mentioned last time too, and it gives you like anxiety. And some people wake up, they got like, I was getting anxiety like crazy.
Wow. From the sleep tracks. Even though the sleep tracks was all about love and positivity,
Yeah,
you still have like anxiety.
yeah. I still now,
Oh.
not all the time.
Like you would
but
wake up
sometimes.
with it? Or?
No, it's like when I'm going to sleep and I put it on and I'm already like kind of like dozing off, and then all of a sudden it's like I wake up like in that moment. It's like coming back, waking up again, and then I feel like all like anxiety in my chest.
Wow.
And I remember when that first started happening, I was like, what the hell is this? But, now I know that it's because the old what the subconscious already knows is kind of fighting. It's fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's hard because for a lot of people who go through pain, who go through different experiences, they're so used to it that becomes the reality.
Yes.
So when you're introducing a new idea, for example, I'm good looking, I am smart, I'm enough, words that they may not be used to hearing,
Yeah.
it sounds weird to them. Their body almost rejects it
Yeah.
because they've been so conditioned to believe that they're unworthy, that they're unloved, that they're losers.
Yeah.
And it takes so much, but that's why I feel like it is an active decision. And it's a choice and it's a practice that you have to like wire it into yourself
Yeah.
to be like, I'm good enough.
Yep.
Because then the reality is also that no one's going to always have a great day.
No.
Every day. You're going to have
Right.
bad moments, you're going to have good moments,
Yes.
right? But there are people who, and it sucks because I've been there too, where once you get depressed, it's hard to get out of that place because it just feels like there's an eternal cloud over your head
Yeah.
and there's no sunshine.
Yeah.
And what happens is that subconsciously we start just finding all the reasons why life sucks.
Yeah.
And as a result, you talk about the mirroring from the universe, you start seeing every reason why life is negative. So when somebody tells you that you're doing a good job, when someone tells you that you're good looking or that you're deserving, it almost feels like they're lying to you
Yeah.
because you've already thought
Yeah.
so deep in your subconscious that you're not deserving of any of that.
Exactly. And you're believing it.
Yeah. How in your thoughts and from your expertise, also because this is May, and actually May is not only Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander Heritage Month, but it's also Mental Health Month.
Yes.
So, how would somebody say like they're in this position, darkness, feeling stuck, feeling lost, maybe even suicidal? You know,
If that's you, man, just know. Just hold on, man. Just do me the favor. If you're listening and you're one of these people that, struggle with that or feel like my life is never going to get better, I'm telling you, you're running with that thought. And I'm not taking away from like what people who do have those thoughts, because some of them will be like, no, that's not what it is. Like, you don't have to get defensive. But what I'm saying is like, you kind of have to pull yourself out of that, but it starts with your mindset and what it is that you're telling yourself, right? Like you're saying, oh, when you're on the low, you're looking for proof You're really looking for proof, is what it is. You're like, oh, I'm looking for the worst in life. No, you're looking to prove to yourself that you're correct about what it is that you're thinking. So why not try to flip the switch
Yeah.
and start to think, you know what? No, maybe my life is worth something. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been so many people, though, and you hear these stories where they think that way, right? And then their best friend or somebody like hits them up and like, hey, let's go out to eat, or let's go have a cup of coffee and whatever else. And while they're out, they're realizing like, what am I thinking? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell was I thinking? What am I thinking? You know, I'm gonna go for another day. I'm gonna keep, you know what I'm saying? Because that's all we're doing is going one day at a time.
Right. And all it is just one day at a time, one step at a time. You don't have to conquer Mount Everest in one day.
No.
It's one step
Yeah.
of 1,000-mile journey type
Yeah.
of thing. I'm actually wearing this shirt right now. I don't know if you can see it, but at least on video you can. So this shirt says, stay another day.
I didn't even realize that. So right now.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's from a brand. It's actually from TikTok. It's from TikTok Shop. And I got it. It's called Stay Another Day. And at the back, it's hard to see, but there's 99 reasons to stay another day.
Yeah.
And they even
Look
have
at
like
that.
the suicide hotline on it. And at this part here,
I love that.
there's a little, I think you can see it here.
Do they have
Yeah,
this in t-shirt?
they do. So they even have like this right there. So I just remember I support them because I think it's a good reminder for all of us that when we have those dark moments, and everybody does, no matter if you're a champion or if you lost games, like we all have those moments, is to always remember that by having that gratitude, that reminder of why to stay another day. That could be as simple as I get to see my friendly neighbor. I get to see the flower. I get to read a book. I get to see a sunset. I get to see that bird that I always see, whatever that may be. I think those little moments allows us to stay another day. Like, it doesn't have to be so grand.
No.
You don't need to go on an eat, pray, love journey
Yeah.
to find fulfillment and happiness and love.
Yeah.
Tiny little thing, and those little tiny steps adds up to bigger steps. And then you're going to leap.
Yeah. Because it's got to be one thing. Just think of one thing that makes you happy.
Yeah.
Or one thing you enjoy. Maybe it's a slice of pizza. Maybe it's a cup of tea. Maybe it's a Snickers bar. Okay, you know what time it is. Although this time we don't have affirmation cards, but we are going to pull an oracle card.
I'm going to pull one card here. Quick little shuffle. Let's go. Oh!
Oh.
It says, hello from heaven. Your loved ones in the spirit world wants to connect with you as much as you want to connect with them. They know you've been thinking of them, and they're sending you signs and symbols to show how much they love you, to prove they're with you at this time.
I felt something. That's why I looked at my arm. I was like, oh, somebody touching me?
Yeah,
No, I
yeah.
felt like somebody touched me.
Oh, wow. I love this card. I always feel like if you really are looking for the signs, they're everywhere. In moments when there's a lot of hardship, in moments when you're feeling very down, always remember that you're not alone. You have your loved ones who have crossed to the other side. You have ancestors who you don't even know who are rooting for you. They're watching you. Yes, lean on your friends, lean on your family. But even if you don't have any of that, you can always lean in to your spirit guides, to your ancestors. Ask and you shall receive. Which also means reach out. Reach out if you ever need help. People are more willing to help than not. Once again, hello from heaven. And on that note, back to the episode.
If you're not here, you don't get to enjoy those things.
Right. And I also think that sometimes we don't realize the impact that we have on somebody else. That our presence, that maybe we don't feel good inside, but maybe just us existing has helped somebody else.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we are our biggest critic. We may not always realize that, oh, wow, just us being here, showing up to the office, to work every day, has brightened somebody else's day,
Yeah.
has helped give them purpose.
Yeah.
Or you holding that door for somebody every day that you see, and they recognize that. or you go to the laundromat, you see the lady working there. Every time you say hi, even you just saying hi gives her that reason to keep pushing. So you never know.
You don't. Everybody has an impact on somebody else in some way.
Yeah, and that's why everything and everybody is connected. Just like a bridge.
The bridge of incidents.
The bridge of incidents. You see how I did it right there? We flipped it back here.
But even in those moments too, like when you're self-aware, right? That's self-awareness. Or you want to keep going. You're gonna give it another day. So now it's like, all right, some of us get there, like, and people that have been through depression, like I've had depression. I didn't even know I had depression. It was Jade that told me I had depression, and she was right. Sometimes we don't even realize it.
We don't.
We just become like robots too.
Yeah.
Like we're just conditioned. Like same thing. We're doing the same routine. I would get home, make something to eat, go to my room.
Yeah.
Come home, make something to eat, go to my room. It's like, and she had to point that out to me. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of have to look at that. So when you're going through something like that, how do you get yourself out of it? You choose yourself. That's where the whole choose yourself came along to. Because I was like, and that's how you have to look at it too. Like you have value. Everybody has value.
Yes.
Everybody matters. You're just on a different journey than me, than Rob, right? There's never going to be another you. That's it. There's only one of you in this world. It does not matter. If somebody could try to imitate you. They can try to be you. They will never be you. Start with that. Look at that. Wait a minute. That's right. There is no other Mike. I'm just throwing a name out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's right. There is nobody else like me.
Right.
Look at it that way. And maybe you're trying to manifest happiness, right? So now, how do you do that? I'm going to start picturing myself being happy. Like, what makes me happy? Oh, yeah. When I take a walk and go get that Snickers bar, that makes me happy. And you go and you take that walk. It's one little thing. Nobody's saying, like you said, we don't have to climb Mount Everest. We don't have to conquer all these things. But one thing that makes you happy. And then think of the next day. You're going to think about 2 things that make you happy.
Right.
And you just keep going.
Right. Some people even use a gratitude journal, for example. It'll be something that at the end of the day, they'll write down 3 things that they're grateful for. Or it's like a victory journal. You write 3 things that you won, that you're, okay, this went really well. And then I think the more people do that consciously, what you realize is that now, throughout the day, you are actively seeking those things to be grateful for and the things that bring you joy. As you keep doing that, you get into the feeling, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
The feeling of gratitude and feeling of joy. And the more you feel grateful and the more you feel joyful, the more abundance you're going to receive.
Yeah.
There was a Instagram reel that I saw of this motivational speaker, and he was talking about how he's talking about gifts, how God gives you gifts. And everybody has that. Yeah. Everybody has a gift. That's why it's so important to know what that is and to tap into that. But he said, yeah, this one time, my kids, they were asking me, I really want the Oculus, Dad. I really want the Oculus. I said, all right, fine. They begged him for the Oculus. He finally buys them an Oculus. They're playing it for 2-3 days. After that, a week goes by, and he's like, well, kids, where did the Oculus go? And he said, I don't know, we lost it. And now imagine God in this way. God gives you gifts.
And we lose it.
And we lose them. So he says, but no worries, find it. So a lot of it's about clearing out the room, and then they can find it. And in life, sometimes when we feel very lost, when we feel very depressed, we feel like we don't know where to go, and we feel the only thing that we can do is to end it.
Yeah.
Instead, it could be as simple as clearing something out that doesn't belong in your life anymore. Simple things. Or it's about cherishing those things that you already do have.
Yeah.
And by doing so, you slowly but surely, your direction will be more clear. Your gifts become a lot more clear. Your experience that you went through could help somebody else. And then you have more reasons to stay.
Yeah. You have purpose, man.
Yeah.
Everybody has purpose. Just find it.
Yeah.
Find it. You could just be going through sadness and depression too because you feel like you're never going to find it.
Yeah. But I also want to point out that finding your purpose, I don't think is the purpose of life as much as the purpose of life is to simply love. So if you're on this earth, loving yourself, loving your other family, loving the work that you do, loving life, loving breathing, that in itself is a purpose.
Yeah.
Already.
But I'm talking about the gifts.
Yes. The gifts, yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. I think that is I think they're actually two different things. The purpose, I still believe, is to love. The gifts, when you add the gifts, that becomes your mission.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, we got different beliefs.
Okay.
Fine.
Well, I'm open to hear I'm open to hear your thoughts on this.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. Explain.
I don't know. I just feel like, everything always goes back to love, regardless. But I feel like the whole, I need to find my purpose always comes down to like what you came here to do. So yeah, like I guess like a mission.
Yeah.
Like you said. But like before we come to the earth plane, like we know what we're coming here to learn.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to execute.
I always feel like our mission or that purpose, as we talk about, when we mention the gifts, I always feel that our gifts are the things that come naturally to us. Is what comes naturally to us, but maybe a little bit harder for somebody else.
Yeah.
Unless you feel like there's a different version of that.
He's like, what do you think?
Yeah, what do you think, fellow Gemini?
I mean, I just feel like it's not so much that it comes hard. Right?
No, like it should come easy to you.
Oh, I thought you said hard.
No.
Sorry.
No. I think your gifts should come. Maybe I did say hard, but no, your gifts should come very easy to you.
It should come.
Yeah, it should come easy to you.
Struggle with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people struggle with it because sometimes people, they have the gift, they're kind of aware of it, but, and I'm not just talking about like mediumship, but for example, sometimes we have it and there's people around us telling us no.
Our environment.
You know what I'm saying? Or talking us out of discovering our gift in that sense.
Right.
Because your gift is within you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have yours, I have mine. Like it's within us. So now it's about us being brave enough too to recognize what it is and go with it.
Yeah.
Despite what anyone else has to say. I have a coworker friend, I won't say her name, but who she's starting a business. And we were just having this conversation, and she was saying how much it, she enjoys this, and that, she's been implementing it, like doing like a soft launch, and you could tell like it brings her a lot of happiness, a lot of joy. But she tried to say was like, well, I don't know, because I don't want to step on anyone else's toes because I know there's this company that does like the same thing or whatever, but I'm trying to do something different. And I said, it doesn't matter. You got to let that go.
Right.
She was like, oh, yeah, it's like imposter syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're coming up with reasons not to go towards the light, meaning towards what lights you up. You know what I'm saying? It lights you up. It has your attention. It makes you happy. It brings you joy. Go in that direction.
Yes.
Go in that direction. See what happens.
I love that. Go where joy is. I love how you say like follow the light. Go to the things that lights you up.
Yeah.
I think that allows you to also it gives you another reason to stay.
Yes.
You are able to really have something to look forward to every morning that you wake up. Because the truth is that most people wake up and they want to hit snooze.
Yeah.
And they don't want to continue their day. Well, that's just from maybe lack of sleep or something like that.
But I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like most people are not looking forward to work.
Yeah.
Because they're not living a life that is theirs. And I understand that there's money and survival and all that. But part of it also is that you still got to find things that light you up. You can still have a job and that's fine. You don't have to love your job, but you got to find something that still brings you that joy and still could light you up. Whether it's your kids, your dog, your hobbies, your passion projects, your own side business, something that you could be like, I can't wait to share this with other people.
Right.
I can't wait to do this. And sometimes it's as simple as changing your mindset.
Oh yeah.
You know how honestly, before, as an actor, I used to hate auditions. This is coming from an actor. Most of our job as an actor is to audition. 90% of our job is to audition. It's not even to be on set.
Yeah.
We are auditioning for the job.
Yeah.
I used to hate it. I'm like, man, I got another audition. I don't even know what this means. Like, I'm reading these sides for a commercial. And I'm like, the audition was so vague, and I don't understand. I'm competing against 500 people. I'm probably not going to get it. That was that mindset that I had. And then the realization that I did have was, okay, these clients, they don't know what they're talking about. In fact, most clients don't know what they want. So if they don't know what they want, they're coming to you because they believe that you could be the solution. And that's when I started to change things up. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to audition for this commercial, whatever it may be, I'm going to do it in my way.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the most Rob Chen way that I can. I'm not just going to have a plain old blue screen behind me
Yeah.
and just say the lines. No. I'm going to give you guys a short film. I'm going to entertain you guys. I'm going to play the director. And this is my version of how this commercial could go down. And you could take it or leave it. But I could always leave finishing the self-tape and being, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
And I love every step that I do.
Yeah.
I love scripting it. Even if I already have the script, I might add something or change something different. I love changing into outfits. I love filming myself in different angles. I love recording. I love editing. I love creating the piece.
Yeah.
So once I discovered that, oh, wait, I like doing this, well, then I want to do more of it. And that completely changed the game with a lot of things. And now I'm getting more callbacks.
Yeah. See?
And I'm starting to book more things because I'm enjoying it.
And you're being you. You're going towards, what lights you up.
I do think it all comes down to what lights you up.
Yeah.
For sure. And I know that for many people, maybe they're listening to this, maybe you don't know what lights you up because you've gotten so used to dimming your own light.
Yeah.
And that's why it's not about climbing Mount Everest right here. It's simple. Tiny little thing that brings you joy, that lights you up. And it could be external, but at some point it's going to come internally to you. And the moment you do that, you're going to start radiating this energy. And other people are going to be drawn to that energy.
Yeah.
And then, law of attraction, you're going to attract more of this.
You will, same thing like with people, like your vibe attracts your tribe, right?
1,000%.
So really what you think of yourself, you think about what makes you happy, you're going towards that, you're putting energy into that, you're trusting, you're doing all these things. That's not to say, though, that you're not going to have your days because you can have your days.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I have my days.
I do too.
Sometimes you got to cry. Sometimes you do have to go there where you're thinking like, oh my God, I'm back here with this.
Yep.
Again, like I said, you can have your day, but you better get back on that horse the next day. Mm-hmm. Because that's one thing we're not going to do. We're not going to wallow there.
Right.
That's what it is. And a lot of us, we stay right there. Stay right there. And there are people that go through this, depression and whatever else, and they don't think about exiting or anything like that. But they keep putting more energy into it.
Yes.
Like, what we're saying, like they keep looking like they go into that victim mode, which drives me crazy.
Look, I had that for my own life.
Yeah.
I victimized myself for the longest time. I felt like, why is the world against me?
And it's not.
It's not. But I thought I was because it was just a confirmation because what I thought and I believed, that's what I saw. Mm-hmm. When I changed that mindset, I realized, no, life works for me, not against me.
Yeah.
Life doesn't happen to me, it happens for me.
Exactly. It happens for us. It's not to us, it's for us.
Yeah. Even in those moments when you may not see it, that's where trust comes in.
Yep.
The bridge of incidents.
Exactly. So the bridge of incidents is happening. So just think of it. It's like whatever's going on behind the scenes. I don't know. That's why I always say, like, hey, the universe knows what I want. It's none of my business how she brings it to me.
Right.
Because I'm thinking, like, I don't know what she's doing back here, but I don't need to look. I don't have to keep checking.
We gotta
I don't have to
micromanage.
see if there's movement. I don't have to, because it's already happening.
Right.
And I just have to trust. And that's it.
And when we trust,
We detach.
we detach. And when we detach, those things come to us. And it's a very pleasant surprise sometimes.
Yeah.
So, to wrap things up,
Yeah.
please write down in the comments whether or not you've had an incident like that happen to you, where like a bridge of incidents moment, something that you're manifesting, something that you use the law of detachment and then it has worked in your favor.
Yeah.
So write in the comments, because we listen to and we watch and we read every single comment.
Everything. Everything. So whether it's on our TikTok, on our IG, right here on our YouTube,
Yeah.
we look at everything.
Which, speaking of which, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and please follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Gemini Soulcast. And send us an email too if you have any specific topics that you want us to talk about. This was fun, as it
was
always
fun.
is.
As always.
Yeah. Once again, my name is Rob,
I'm Sin.
and you just tuned into
Gemini
Soulcast.